Welcome to the NFT Podcast, Daniel, and I'm very happy to be with you today. And so, how are you, and where are you based now?
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure. Thanks so much for the invitation. I'm in Argentina right now. I'm working from home, so it's basically we we are under lockdown. I think probably as much as everyone in
Yeah, like
in
all
the
the
rest of the
world now.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole world. Um, but we're doing good. I'm just enjoying this new NFT world. Something new happened, and all the craziness started, and I'm just trying to learn all
Yeah,
about this.
yeah, and we all need to learn. This is why we're here. So, man, I knew you text to Crypto Heroes. That's something amazing that I want to cover maybe later in this podcast because I
Thank
want
you,
to
man.
know like how you created them. But before, I will like really love to hear like your story. So, seems like you are an artist now. So, how you started?
Yeah.
What happened in your life?
Okay. I'm from Argentina and live in a small city called Escobar, which is a small town 60 kilometers away from the main city. And in my place, it's you don't have much to do. It's a small city. And back at those days, we didn't have internet. We didn't have YouTube. YouTube didn't exist actually. So all the possibilities we have in order to understand what we were going to do for the rest of our lives or the future as a professionals, it was pretty, let's say, blurry. We didn't know. Most of my friends and most of the kids, some of them they knew, but I felt like it was a little bit different, not in not in a bad way or in a weird way, just different. Most of the things they loved or they wanted to do, I didn't want it. I felt like empty, like I needed to look for all the stuff to do, all the things. And I think that's when I found that spending time with a computer, doing anything, I don't know, just typing stories in Word, Microsoft Word, or anything, just playing with the Windows games,
Yeah.
anything with the computer makes me happy, makes me feel happy. Of course, I was young. Then when I got older, I I realized that I had to study something because I will starve all the way.
You cannot
And
type all your life.
no, 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 unfortunately, no. It's not. It wasn't that easy. Uh, so I related myself more with the industry in terms of engineering. Because I was designing some stuff in engineering, local studios, floor plans using AutoCAD, which is a software for
Yeah.
making 2D plans and 3D maquettes. It was fun at the time. Then I realized that I was looking for something more artistic. Then I found ArchViz, which is a architectural visualization, in where you basically you create renderings in and you basically, what you have to do, it is create something that is not built yet, but you're showing how it will look in the future. And you do some animations, walk through animation, do nice renderings with nice lighting and stuff like that. It was great for a couple months, maybe a couple, I don't know, a few years. Then I jumped into the gaming industry. Um, I
Yeah.
worked for yeah, I mean, not a huge AAA video games. It was more the first iPhone games, and it was in 3D, so it was kind of cool because what I learned that in this place, first of all, was a multicultural place, because in Argentina, we most of the time we didn't have the opportunity to work with all the people around the world. So in this place, you could find people from Brazil, from France, from Italy, from United States, from different part of the world. So I learned a little bit of English. I learned a little bit of other cultures, and I learned how to put myself in a more teamwork situation. It was really fun. I learned many things, but I have a restless mind, and I got bored, and then I jumped again to another industry. It was motion graphics and advertising. I think I spent a few more years there, and I learned many things. I learned how to use a lot of softwares because in advertising, everything is for a week before.
Yeah.
You never have time to put yourself in something and
Yeah.
and just cool things. I mean, you can do cool things, but it's always
Yeah.
you're running late every single project. So I think that pressure helped me to build or maybe find ways to create shortcuts to do things in the best way as possible. But again, I got bored one more time. But at that moment, I found I was older, and I think it's a process. How do you call it? Is when you get older, you start seeing the things in a different way,
Sure.
more objectively, depending of things happening in your life. I I got married that time. I didn't have kids at that moment, but I realized that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life doing, animations or advertising for all the people, whatever. And then at that moment, I found the sculpture, the sculpture thing.
At what age?
I
What age?
It was pretty old actually. It was like 10 years ago. So my 27. I'm 37 right now. So I think it was 10 years ago,
Okay.
more or less. You know, but I mean, your 20s, you're a guy, and now you're 25, you're another type of guy, and your 30s, you're a totally different person. Because probably your experience of life and all the things happen to you makes you, you know, see the life through all the lenses. And at that moment, I realized that I want to spend my time doing something that I really, really enjoyed doing it. Not something that I was watching the clock or just trying to, see how fast the time could fly so I can just finish the things I was doing. I really want to put my time and enjoy what I was doing. And sculpting was my thing. And at that moment, I think everything changed because I started really enjoying every single minute of my time as an artist. And I felt a real artist, because I was creating, I was building, I was doing some things from my imagination. And I felt, the feeling is totally different. I stopped doing, and it's okay with the people who work in these fields, but I stopped doing characters in T pose to start making characters in poses with expressive poses, and trying to understand how you can make an expression and something, or transmit a feeling through a sculpture. Even if we are talking about superhero sculptors or villain sculptors or whatever kind of sculpt you're doing, it is learn how you can transmit something with just using ZBrush in my case, which is a software I'm used. And that's pretty much, I think,
Your
kind of
story.
summarize of yeah, my story.
That's
Yeah,
cool. That's so cool.
kind of, kind of.
You
Thank you.
summarize like a lot of years in a few minutes, but I see there is something that for me like unites all these pieces together. And what's for you like? What is that you always like felt that you can find in your like work in gaming, in your work in advertising, and that's probably what like lights up you one day and say, okay, I want to like put this in my heart, probably.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it was that feeling of basically feeling empty, that anything you were doing, it wasn't enough to fulfill your feelings as an artist. Being an artist is a complicated person. I can tell you, in every sense, with all the goods, all the bads, but we are a complicated person. Are you an artist? Are you?
It depends how you see it. I'm interviewing some people.
Huh.
When I ask them like, "What's art for you?" They most of the time they answer, "Art is everything." And so I say, "And so everyone can be an artist." It depends on what you say. And they say, "Oh yes."
Yeah.
And at the point I say, "Okay, I'm an artist too."
Okay. Okay.
But
That's.
except from that, I think also that like an artist, is someone that creates. I like maybe
Mhm.
this podcast is a creation because it's something
Yeah.
that is like unique. Of course, there can be
Hmm.
like other people that can do a podcast, but like this NFT podcast with like me and you in this
Hmm.
cam in this is like unique. So
Yeah.
or but I usually also like I paint, I do like videos, photographs. So yeah, in one sense I can be an
Yeah, you are,
artist.
you definitely are an artist. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you understand me now that when I'm saying that we are complicated, right?
Yeah. And no, I understand you also before because I jumped like from tech industry to education industry to
Uh-huh.
advertising and market industry. So you are like, in a sense, maybe spoiling what is going to happen in my life. So I need to like stop
Yeah.
doing everything
Yeah.
and just do what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah, but it is exciting at the same time, not
Yeah,
knowing.
it is.
It is a bit for certain people could be concerning, that it's like oh, I don't know what to do with my life. But with other people like myself, it is exciting because you don't know exactly what you are going to be or what you're going to do for the rest of your life until you found something that you really love doing it and you're enjoying it. And at the same time, like the NFT, that I'm sure we're going to go deep soon. But I mean, when I found the NFT world, I said, okay, I'm sure I can put some of the things I discovered and I learned through all these years into this new world. I can try. And you said something interesting about the art. The definition of an artist is if you create something, you are an artist. That's true. And as we have seen in these the past of the weeks with the NFT, we have seen about a huge variety of art. In which some cases I consider, okay, this is not an art piece
This
of
is not.
art,
Yeah. This is.
and this is an amazing piece of art, and this is it's something cool, but I mean, selling a white canvas for, I don't know, lots of money, I don't think that's a piece of art. You know what I mean? It's just a white canvas. What's the purpose?
It's
Where's
fungible. It's not so fungible. That's that like everyone like can do it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the definition of I think NFTs, I think it opened a new door or a window of on defining what is art and what's not an art, an artistic piece or whatever.
I'm sure that go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you say something interesting here. So because one eye, my eye, like can spot the difference between like an artist and a non-artist because you are like older than me, like of course
Hmm.
better like in the heart. And how do you like spot the difference between some two pieces, especially in this world of NFTs now that it's a mess in this with
Hmm.
all these artists together? How do you like spot the difference and say, okay, this for me is valuable art? It's something,
Hmm.
not just something that I want to buy. Not talking about a business perspective, but
Sure.
just like
Sure.
from a poor aesthetic perspective. So what's
Hmm.
like that comes in your mind and
Yeah.
say, okay, that's art, that's not art.
I think it is so hard to define nowadays that, because I always put myself in a situation where when I'm creating, I'm spending time and I'm putting lots of the years of experience in that particular piece, and it's not something I can do in 5 minutes
Yeah.
or in 10 minutes. I spend hours or days or weeks or months, depending of what type of art we are talking.
Yeah.
So you could tell me, yeah, but maybe this guy who basically paint, I don't know, a few scratches and then posts it as an art. It is an artist because he's expressing himself through that piece. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But it's kind of you know tiny line in when you can separate between, okay, what you consider. So you're telling me that any kind of expression is an art and a valuable piece of art, or it is just art. It's complicated. It's so sensible and
Yeah.
complicated. To me, it's, if you ask me, I would say you need to put some, at least a few. It's not just time. It is a few of your expertise in something. If you're showing me a couple of, I don't know, color dots in an empty space with a few colors, at least it should cost something to me, transmit something to me. If you know how to use a color palette or use a negative spaces or something, because not every single piece of art, it is a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, but
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
But
no, of course, but it goes there. I don't think there is like a perfect answer for this question. In sense, like
yeah,
everyone like has got his own question because art is a perspective. So yeah, you're
yeah.
saying that basically what makes art valuable under an aesthetic perspective is the time you put into, and that's of course one of
Mm,
the definition like the most, because for me time is the most
yeah.
valuable asset. And so it seems like
Mm.
maybe also, yeah, like the biggest projects that you're made in your life are the ones that
Mm.
took the most of your time. Is it true or not?
Um, Sometimes the biggest projects are the most complicated to solve. And sometimes those are not related with time, if not are related with the perspective on how you can solve it. In my personal case, I'm a figurative sculptor. um, I do superheroes. I sculpt superheroes and villains, and it's my art is pretty, how do you call it, tangible. I mean, you can touch it, you can see it, you can feel it. It's simple in the way that you don't need to find ways to understand what's happening between. It's just pretty straightforward. So that is not. It doesn't mean it's better or it is worse. And sometimes I I spend days and days to solve something, and it's super simple pieces, and all the time I spend just a few seconds or a few minutes on more complicated statues. It's every time it's kind of crazy, because sometimes it's just how do you feel when you sit down and you put yourself into that piece. If you're really, let's say, with a lot of energy and your day was awesome, at that moment of your life is doing awesome, doing great, maybe you can solve stuff like super quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you feel a little bit depressed, or now we are under this lockdown here in Argentina, like you can't go anywhere, you have to use mask every time. You can you know you can go and enjoy your days with your family, friends, as you did in the past. Sometimes you feel a little bit depressed, and in those moments I feel like I can't solve the things as I did it a couple weeks ago when all this craziness wasn't here. So it's kind of weird
Yeah,
situation.
that's like the weird part, as you say, of being an artist, in the sense that you cannot like have a workflow. You just work work because you feel something. So in this moment, I
Yeah,
can feel something and can like shape something crazy in a second, and the day after I don't feel that, so I cannot do it. Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
totally, man.
And so you talk about superheroes, and
Hmm.
who doesn't like superheroes in this world? Who doesn't like to create superheroes? And it seems like you created some really nice, amazing superheroes like crypto heroes, and I'm going to like,
Yeah.
of course, link them in the description because they were so nice that
Hmm.
I had to
Thank
post
you,
it on
man.
my page. So
Thank you.
how started like your passion in superheroes, and how it evolved into this new kind of superheroes? And I don't know if there is also maybe a lot more that you want to tell us about, maybe some spoiler of the future
Yeah,
about this.
yeah. Well, I think it's as you said, it's we all like superheroes because most of the time you will find special abilities like extra human abilities and extra powers, or the look of the superheroes is something like a unique and unreachable most of the time, and I think the idea to play with that, the stories and with these abilities and powers is something exciting, and even more for us as creators and as sculptors, that we can play with anatomy, with proportions, with the way they look, with the colors, with the costumes, and it's so fun. And when I was to put myself into this NFT world for the first time, I said, okay, what I can do that it looks cool, and at the same time I enjoy doing it. I didn't want just to sit down and do some Photoshop stuff and super quickly and post it, and because of the sake of post something. So I said it wasn't the most brilliant idea, but cryptocurrency, the crypto heroes, I mix both things. I do superheroes for a living, and so let's just mix both things, and these crypto heroes just happened. First of all, I Google if anyone was doing any kind of crypto heroes or superheroes
And
related
there
with
wasn't no one.
cryptocurrencies. No one was doing it, so I said this is my chance, and I did it. I think people reacted very nice about the superheroes. I saw a couple. Then I really enjoy doing it. Dogecoin, the Doge X, because a friend of mine told me, why you just don't put something from Elon Musk and the Dogecoin or something together, And the people was expecting that I was going to do um, a bulky superhero, like a male superhero with a dog face, and I said, no, that's exactly what people expecting from me, because that's what I do for a living.
Yeah,
So let's just change the game a little bit, and I play with this dog, and I put the SpaceX suit, like if they were
yeah,
making
so
someone for the dog, and it was just fun. I had lots of fun working on that project, with all the rest too, and it was new to me. I think it was the first time in years that I was creating something for as a personal, let's say, personal portfolio, because all the rest of the years since I put my foot in the superhero, or on this market of the sculpting thing, I worked, with licenses stuff. So, but I didn't do basically nothing for myself as an artist, as a personal work. And because of the NFT, I could make this bunch. I think it was, I did 4 or 5, I can remember, and it was really fun, dude. It was really fun to make it. I
that's
really
so
enjoy
cool.
it.
That's so cool. They're really
Yeah, man.
amazing. With NFTs now, you can work for yourself, and you think it's like this is the most exciting thing about NFTs for you as an
Yeah,
artist, that now you had the time and the space to like develop something that for the first time is like your superhero.
yeah, yeah. I think it is just a new window that just opened for me and for most of the people. I think and I think that this is pretty new. You can think, okay, this has just changed my life, and I'm not going to work for anyone else anymore. I'm just going to start doing my stuff, and it will join, and that's it. Eh, This is not. I think it's not a real thing, and not, at least not yet. I think it's something new. It just happened, and it is good for everyone. I think it's interesting, but I think it allowed me to put myself in a more creative situation, and put myself out of my comfort zone and try another stuff and see how it worked, and it worked pretty well, and
Okay.
it is crazy, because when I post it, I never thought that I was going to sell anything. I just honestly I did it because I felt that I have to do it. I can't, I can't um, just not try it. And then I sold one. I think I sold a couple, and it was kind of crazy because this is so new, dude. This is so new, the way people was just acting about this, this new way to sell your, for the first time, I think, it's like something massive that allows any single artist around the world to sell your own stuff in a pretty interesting price, um, but I think it was a kind of, for a moment, was hype, and now it's a little bit different. It keeps going, but not as much as it was like a month ago or a month and a half. Can't remember when all
Yeah,
this exploded.
yeah, like in February.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like February, right?
Yeah, I think that like there has been like a huge hype in art, but I'm sure like that NFTs are here to stay. So we just saw like an
Oh yeah.
hype in art, but we are going to see like hype in other industries. For example,
Yeah.
like now I interviewed a lot of people in like in the gaming industry. I'm not sure that's something that's
Uh-huh.
going like to build a lot, and music industry now is going
Yeah.
a lot deep into the NFTs. So we are going to see like this year, but of course art is going like to rise again, probably with your like next crypto heroes. And about like so you say under a business perspective that you can now sell for the first time by yourself. So as an artist you also need to become like the manager of yourself. So how like do you
Mm.
define the price? How like do you define the market? I saw, for example, that you joined foundation. So why you
Mhm.
choose like foundation between all the others like platforms? Is there like a reason? Maybe for fees, for actions? I don't know.
Being really honest, because I didn't know about any other one. I remember I saw a couple of friends of mine, a couple of colleagues saying, "Oh, take a look about this NFT world and about this web page, about this, I think it was Maker's Place and Nifty and Foundation and a couple others." I say, "Oh, well, okay, that's cool. So how I can apply?" Then I contact a friend. We start talking about this. He was already selling some stuff, and say, "Dude, how it's how I can put myself into this." He just gave me some directions. Okay, I think maybe Foundation at that time was one of the most well known, or maybe the one for the people who was I was following, and the colleagues in this 3D world. They were using Foundation. I said, okay, let's try with Foundation. I figured out you need to enter only through invitation, or maybe at that time they have Discord chat in where you
Yeah.
can put your stuff there and they select it or not. I can't remember. And then a friend sent me an invitation, and thank you to Boss Logic for that. He was the friend who helped me to put myself in the foundation. Then I started working on these characters. I put one, I put another, but I didn't know about others. Then, of course, with the pass of the time, with the pass of the days, I found another places, of course. Um, but it's not easy to get into, it's not easy to get into these places, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need to have a really strong followers on Instagrams, on Twitter. It's all about how much followers you have, because I'm not saying it's just about that,
Yeah.
but it's easier when you have a strong base of followers, because these places, I think they want people who basically help them to show the possibilities and the things you can do. And when you give the chance to some of these guys who have a lot of followers, you are helping to spread the word. So I think it's easier. But the honestly, foundation was foundation because it was
The-
foundation.
there
I
was
didn't know about others.
the first that I knew. Cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's cool the fact that foundation is like it's more exclusive, and because you've got followers, so you've got a brand. So for you that you are like well renowned in the sense, it's better that you have like this smaller community of like
yeah.
artists of a certain quality, as we can say. Okay, and like you mentioned before, like a name that's Boss Logic. Did you work with him too, or just part of your like NFT network?
No, we became friends years ago, and through Instagram we started talking with Code, and we became very good friends. He liked what I was doing, and I of course I liked what he was doing. He was a very well known guy at that time. Honestly, it was funny because the way I met Boss was, I think I post an artwork of I was sketching, I think, a piece, a kind of diorama between John Wick and Punisher. And I think he sent me a message. I didn't know who he was at that time. And then he asked me, "Hey, dude, I like this? Can I use it for a poster?" I said, "Sure, man, of
Sure.
course." He did a poster, and then a friend of mine told me, "Danny, did you see what happened?" "No, what happened?" Boss Logic mentioned you in a post." And I was like, "Who?" "Boss Logic, man." I said, "I don't know who's Boss Logic." And then here we did. This is one of the most well-known artists nowadays. And I said, I don't know him. I honestly, because I'm so outside most of the time from the social media. Even if I put myself a lot and I post a lot, and I did it because it's a way. We have the artists. I'm always in a kind of bubble, and and I know it's kind of dumb from me, but I'd say, dude, I didn't know. And and then it's like, wow, I can't believe this guy. Then I realized who he was, because I said, I can't believe the guy who is making the posters from for Avengers and all the stuff is the one who is posting me this stuff. I said, wow, that's
That's
mind
crazy.
blowing. And then after that, we keep talking. We talk a lot with the pass of the years. And then when I asked him about all this NFT thing, he helped me to enter into foundation. And then now we are doing some collaborations together. Then I have to I can't talk much about it,
We
but
will,
we are
we will see
we are
them
doing
soon.
yeah, we are going to see pretty soon, I hope. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
crazy.
man.
So because how is like working with so huge artists? What is that you learn the most by really staying together with? Because before we were talking about like what's art and what's non-art. This is sure art. This is like huge
Mm.
art. So what's for you the like make boss logic, and what's like inspirational for you to stay with him and work with him?
Yeah, I think work ethic is one of the most valuable things that I learned from these artists. It's like pushing yourself every time a little bit further, a little bit more, working hard, be persistent. Don't just do for the sake of doing stuff. Enjoy the things you're doing. I learned from these amazing artists that you don't become a huge artist just posting random stuff all the time. it,
Yeah,
it is like a believe in yourself, create what you're doing, believe in what you're doing and what you're creating, and then people will follow you. It's like don't try to fake it, because people will see it.
yeah,
And I think I learned from all these amazing artists that you need to really put yourself into every single piece you do. And with the time, of course, it will take time, and but with the time, you will get to wherever you want to go. And is in most of these cases is the importance of have a work ethic, and believe in yourself, and be kind with the people who supports you, be responsible of the message you are sending to others who is listening to you. And I think we, as an artist nowadays, we have a lot of responsibility for the new generations, because we are telling them what things to do or what things not to do with our actions. And that's something that I learned a lot from Bros Logic and from other people who is well known as well. And I think those are the most important things that I got from
they
them.
are. They are huge opportunities, and of course, luck and opportunities together to work with these people. Great. And so you are an artist, but you are also an art director. It seems this is what I read like on your bio, and you work for Sideshow. So would you like to tell me
Yeah.
more about like Sideshow? And also, I would like to be interested like in how's the life on art director. Like, what do you do like an art director for Sideshow?
Sure. I'm a sculptor for Sideshow. I sculpt pieces and I art direct pieces as well. I usually my work as an art director or maybe the difference between when I was just plain sculptor and now that I'm ID and sculptor as well. It is having more responsibility and more decision on every action, on every step, and every way you want to take. Put more of yourself in every creation. Take decisions about what things to do or things not to do, and why you are doing those things. And why are you avoiding to or taking another ways to do or to create things. At the same time, I I bring my expertise or my skills in other projects and my support and my guidance for whoever need me at the company. I I really want to involve myself in all the projects we do. In my personal case, I'm an anatomy lover. I love anatomy a lot and really enjoy. Is the thing I enjoy the most doing it, and I think every single person at the company has they have their own skills, and we all try to support. And as an AD, what you can do also it is to help to build better products, giving you perspective and your insight, not just in the things you're doing, if not also on the things that others are doing, in the best way as possible. You just don't want to put your nose in things you don't
Yeah.
have to. It's just giving your help to whoever to anyone who need it, and in order to elevate the pieces as much as you can.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Yes, that's the life of an art director. And do you think that you with Sideshow are you going like to join the NFT space in a way?
With such a what? I'm sorry.
With your company Sideshow, are you going like to join the NFT space, or you just want to keep it for the NFT space like for yourself, and you want to like make this
Yeah.
traditional art with Sideshow?
I don't know honestly. For a company perspective, if they are going to join to NFT world, I'm sure with the pass of the time, the NFT is going to change the perspective from a lot of things as we see right now. I'm sure they are seeing all these repercussions about the NFT, but I think at the moment this is more for more
Individuals.
personal. I think
Yes, more
yeah, it's
personal.
more individual. I think maybe or the cool things you can see right now is collaboration between a few artists,
Yeah,
like things I'm going to do with Boss Logic, or others are doing. Actually, Boss is working with all the artists as well, like joining forces to do
yeah.
something a really cool piece, and then goes to NFT or whatever place.
Yeah. That's cool. I agree. That's what we are seeing now. I don't really see like companies that are joining the NFT
Hmm.
space, but I think it's like more an opportunity for individuals. And like it's great to see like this building of this community without like ahead in this, and we are like in all this together. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe one last question is like, so plan because I don't know since I like met Crypto Heroes and what you're saying, I like envisioning like I don't know a movie around this. So what are we going like to see in this year? Are you going like to drop new Crypto Heroes? What are we going to see from
Yeah.
you, Daniel?
Well, I'm honestly I'm waiting for the new evolution of the NFT that I think is going to be more in the, let's say, in the market of the real statues of the OBJs. I heard is going to be not only for, as you said, they are expanding to music, to other industries, and I think they have plans to start working with more like 3D printable things. And that that thing excites me because. I have a 3D printer, so most of the things I do are for 3D printing. So if the NFT is turning to, or just expanding or opening to all the stuff, I think I could bring these Crypto Heroes to another format, and
That's so cool.
to play with other things. Not just with the Crypto Heroes, with anything you want to create. I think Crypto Heroes was nice, and I tried, and I think it was a nice concept. But if you put too much in one particular thing, maybe you just burn it.
Yeah.
And I prefer to keep thinking another stuff because it makes me feel better, and not just exhausted. Sometimes you need to change, and but I think this, with all these NFT new changes and openings towards to the 3D printed world, I think it comes exciting times, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, and I like the fact that we are going to see like digital art baked by traditional art because I think that they are complementary. They can live with each other. And I've got also like a friend of
100%.
mine, and he's like creating like planets fairs, and so he want to sell like the digital stuff and the digital piece and the traditional piece, and that's
Yeah,
valuable for
yeah.
art because otherwise people say, oh, it's just a JPEG. Of course, it's not just a JPEG, but but
That's true.
if I've
Yeah.
got a piece like your, especially for you, because like we are creating heroes, and we like in our life we all have Batman or Superman in our head. We are going to see that from you. Okay. Um,
Hopefully.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully. I so really wish you all the best for like your next drops. Can't wait to see
Thank you.
them. Can't wait to see where your creativity is going to bring you on Instagram. And I will link, of course, all your profiles here in the description.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was super fun. And I wish you the best to you and to all the people who will come after me. So thank you, man.
Thank you.
Keep doing it.